Buonasera. I like that. I like seeing their beautiful faces. What? Please don't tell the other conventions I said this, but the Roman convention is definitely the prettiest convention. But don't tell anyone that I said that. How is everybody? Are you excited for this weekend? Who has not been here before? Wow, there's a lot of fresh meat here. Good, all right. Well, if you haven't been here, this is the portion of the program where I talk about meaningless bullshit and people ask questions about other things that I don't answer. And that carries on for some time. Does anyone want to ask a question? It doesn't matter if you do, because I'll tell a story instead. So my children have this cute thing that they do, which is when I'm packing my suitcase, they will put something in the suitcase for me. So this is very adorable, and it's usually something like a kid's spoon, or a stuffed animal, or a tiny little hat, or something like that. And this time, I opened my bag to discover a dirty work glove, a length of dirty rope, and a pair of women's underwear. Which made me feel like maybe my children think when Dad goes away, he's a serial killer, so this will be helpful for him. It was the weirdest thing. I don't even know where those things came from in the house. Like, it was actually a little, I was like, oh, I wonder what they... Okay, that's my story about what my family thinks of me. Would you now like to ask your question?
Sure.
Okay.
So, in the last episode of Supernatural,
yes,
Dean and Castiel had a really intense fight scene.
Yes.
So, what do you think will be the impact on their friendship, and what was it like shooting this scene with Jensen?
Well, the fight impacted me and Jensen's friendship quite a bit. I mean, after that, I kept on being like, why would you do that to me, man? I sometimes lose track, and I think that Jensen is Dean, and it's Jared is Sam, and so it's a little bit confusing for me. But it was an intense scene. There was a lot in the original script. It was scripted that it's a fight. That was what we got. We just got that it's a fight. But the way we choreographed it, we just made it kind of more like Dean is beating up Cass, because I think Cass didn't want to fight Dean.
He held back, I think.
He doesn't want to hurt Dean, but at the same time, he's trying to defend himself a little bit. But Dean can be a real dick, especially when he has the mark of Cain. That really makes him a real dick. So yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, it seems like we've been through a lot together. I have a feeling that this is the kind of thing that would be forgivable. He didn't kill me. I think that crosses the line. We were good until you killed me. And then I feel like that really came between our friendship. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Привет.
Привет.
First of all, I want to say thank you for your visit to Russia. It was a great joy for us.
Oh, it was a great trip for me too. It was a little bit too short though, for me. I don't know about you, but it was short for me.
I think you
Were you satisfied? I was not satisfied.
My question is to Sergei Sergov. Is
Yes.
it difficult for him to live in another country so far away from his motherland?
Do you know what she's talking about, anyone? Yes. So I posted a little... What the hell did I do? I posted... it was for a Random Acts fundraiser. I posted a video as a Russian workout, like a fitness coach, but a Russian fitness coach. And she's asking a question about that character that posted that thing. And I'm supposed to answer it now. So the question is, how does Sergeyevich Sergov?
Is it difficult to him to live in another country?
Why? Why? No.
Because-
How could? No. That's very badly idea. Because Sergeyevich Sergov has a long relationship with travel and with he has worked long time in what we have Russian like secret service. So he can go sometimes 9, 12 months, sometimes 2, 3 years, live only in the woods with a knife and gun, hunt enemy soldiers. So for him to, this is very importantly, you can laugh, but you have a life and you laugh at my life. He's really... I am fully aware of the fact that this is the fucking wrong audience for an accent joke. But I'm going with it anyway. Thank you for that insightful question. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
I'm great. Everybody knows that you are a great dancer.
Yes.
My friend is a professional dancer, so I'm a little bit jealous, you know?
Yeah.
So could you please teach me some cool dancing moves?
Yes. Yes, I will. I will teach you. Okay. So, the United States of America, which is actually my homeland, my motherland, is a great factory of dance innovation. Some of the most important dance moves in history have come out of the United States. For example, the moonwalk. You're too young to know what the moonwalk is, but that's it. And then my personal favorite, which I will now teach you. For those of you who couldn't see that, that was a backspin. Backspin is a phenomenon that came out of breakdancing. Breakdancing is a phenomenon that came out of black inner city America in 1984. And in 1984, I was, while not black and not from a city, very cool. I was a very cool kid. I had a little tail that came out like right here. And I was very cool. The other kids at school didn't know that. they thought I was a really weird little geek that they didn't want to talk to.
Yeah, I feel you.
So you know what that's like. It felt terrible. But I was a proactive individual, so I had my mother drive me almost an hour and a half into Springfield where we could get breakdancing lessons. So I took breakdancing lessons from these, really tough black teenagers so that I could come back to school and show the fuckers what was cool. So I got a single Michael Jackson glove for just one hand, and I went to school with a piece of cardboard, because you need cardboard, that's why the backspin didn't work just there. And I demonstrated, to show how cool I was, I demonstrated a backspin on a piece of cardboard with a single Michael Jackson glove on and a headband. I had a bandana around my head. Believe it or not, and this is the weird part of the story, that did not convince my classmates that I was cool. I don't know why, but that didn't work. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's a true story. Sadly, a true story.
Hi.
Hi.
So I know you and Vicky have done a lot of really cool projects together. So I'm wondering if you have any that are like your favorite projects or most meaningful projects that
Favorite or most meaningful projects? Well, my wife and I have been engaging in strange enterprises pretty much from the moment we met. When we were 17, we started our first business, which was called Russian Collectibles. And it was an import-export company where we were importing Russian handicrafts. I think we still have over 10,000 business cards from that. We never made a single sale, but we did photo shoots of everything. And then we realized, we don't have time for this, we have to go to college. So we abandoned that business. But then, right around that time, we also did something called YCBA, which was an enterprise that I was very proud of for a long time, which was Youth Conference for a Better America, YCBA. I just realized that, it just dawned on me that I have always had an affinity, I've always liked really long, terrible acronyms. Because GISH is just as bad as YCBA. 20 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. And we brought, it was a girls' camp. So it was a camp for urban teen girls who were having a hard time to come away. It was a sleepaway summer camp. And we were just teenagers ourselves. I mean, I think we were 18. I don't know how old we were, 19 years old. We were really young. And we had this idea to start a sleepaway summer camp and bring all these kids from, all over the East Coast, as far as Cincinnati, New York, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Boston. All these kids came and we made this really amazing summer camp for them. And we had no money to do it. And so we just went door to door, knocking on people's doors, telling them what we were doing. And we raised, literally in 7 days, we raised $50,000 just knocking on people's doors because we were so excited about it that people were like, and by the way, when you knock on someone's door and ask them for money, they don't immediately like you. So that was one that I was really proud of. But then she went and did this really irritating thing, which was a PhD program. And so we had this long period of time where we couldn't do anything together because she was busy working on her PhD. But now she's done with that. So we're doing some more projects together. We have a few things in the works that are more kind of like art projects that we're doing right now that I'm excited about. So I can't tell you what they are because I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
I'm going to ask this question for my best friend Cam, and she and I would both like to know if you could ride a dragon, what kind of dragon would it be? Like color, size, and if you could color its nails, would you do it with nail polish?
How do you come up with a question like that? Yeah, hi, who's it? It's me, it's Cam, it's Cam. Listen, if you get to the front of the line, I have a question that I would love it if you would ask Misha. Yeah, what is it? Okay, just ask him, well, it's kind of the question I've always wondered. Ask him if he could be a dragon, what color would the dragon be? And if you could paint its nails, would it be with nail polish? Do you want to know that?
Do I want to know?
Yes,
shall I tell you?
What? Yes, I do. What kind of drugs was she on?
I don't know, sadly, I've never met her. We're friends with the internet.
Oh, you've never met her? So as far as we know, this Cam could be a 50-year-old man. I'm not gonna answer this pervert's question.
She's an amazing fan fiction writer, and she wrote one where, well, it was kind of an alternative universe where Kaz was a dragon rider. So she was
Kaz was a what?
was riding a dragon. So it was
Riding a dragon in what sense? I know how this story ends. Cass doing the dragon's nails, lying with the dragon, smoking a cigarette. Was it good for you, dragon? Was it good for you, dragon? The dragon would be pink, but I would not make the mistake of trying to paint a dragon's fingernails with nail polish. Obviously, it would take too many little bottles of nail polish.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I have a question that had nothing to do with supernatural, but
Okay.
what was it like?
I'm sorry, we only answer supernatural questions. Okay. Sorry.
I was wondering what it was like to meet Norman Reedus, because you met him like a few months ago.
It was great to meet him. He was very tired when I met him. He had just gotten off a plane to Tokyo, so what I did to meet him, I was like, oh, Norman's here, great. Because we had had like a little internet banter before, and I went up into his autograph line with a photo, and he has this long hair and a hat on, and he's signing photos like this. Like he's crawling across the Sahara Desert, you know, and he hasn't had water in 3 weeks. And so I get up there and I'm like, and he's just like, thank you, ma'am. And I'm like, Norman? Hi. So it was very exciting, our first introduction. That's how it went.
Good
Yeah,
to hear.
yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I want to know what's the weirdest thing you've ever found in your hotel room?
Point of clarification. Is it one of my things or something else that somebody...
Whatever's safest for you to answer.
I'm not going to tell my own story right now because I'm going to tell someone else's story. Jason Mans. You know this story? Do you know Jason Mans' story? Oh, some of you do. The rest of you don't. So Jason was in Birmingham last week, and he was sitting in his room, in his hotel room. This is what relates to your question. Playing his guitar, and he gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back, and there's a fresh, unopened, I like the term fresh in this context, condom sitting on his chair, which is not his. which did not fall out of his pocket. And he was trying to figure out what type of ghost would have done that. And we never got to the bottom, we never figured out what kind of ghost would do that. Obviously, a safety-minded ghost. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hey Misha.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
I was wondering, when you knew that you were going to get the role as Castiel, the angel,
Yes.
how did you prepare for it, and how was the first shooting day of the first episode with you in it?
I prepared for it by... I think I prepared for it by kind of thinking, oh shit, how do I do this? I didn't know really how to play. It's fun. It's a funny thing because I did take some acting classes and read some acting books and thought about acting a little bit along the way. And what everyone tells you is you've gotta, get into the character, think like the character thinks, find, human traits that are like yours that, relate to the character. But what they never prepare you for is when you're playing a non-human character. When you're an angel, there's no set way to do that. So I was kind of at a loss. I actually I was hiking up on this mountain. I'm super embarrassed to admit this, and I don't know why I'm going to carry on, but I was up on I was on a hike and up on the top of this mountain, and I got to the peak and I sat down on a rock and I kind of looked out over everything, and I just sat there for a little while, and I thought this was Castiel's perspective before he came to Earth. Like he was just up from a very, very great distance looking down and had no real connection, just this kind of overview of the things that were going on, but he wasn't involved. That was actually one thing, and I sat there for quite a while. That was one thing that I did. And then I also developed my deep, gravelly Cass voice. That was another layer of preparation that I did. And then on the first day of shooting, I still hadn't really watched much of the show when I got there, so I didn't really quite understand how it works with supernatural characters on the show. And Kim Manners was directing, and we did the first take of the scene, and he came up to me and his note was, let's try that again, but try not to be so spooky. And so it was a little weird. I was trying to be less spooky in the first day of shooting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So I think you already...
Is my fly undone? These jeans, like I've noticed 3 times today, the fly keeps on falling down. So while I'm talking, part of my brain is thinking, has my fly fallen down again? So if I keep touching my crotch, that's my excuse. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think you already asked a little bit of my question because I wanted to ask why Castiel didn't fight back when Dean beat him down, but maybe you can tell us what's it...
Cass didn't fight back because he wasn't trying to fight Dean. Dean was trying to fight him. He's trying to help Dean. He's trying to help him. Beating him down doesn't do any good,
So what were his feelings when he lay on the floor and Dean left the room?
Ow! Yes.
Okay, so my dad and I are huge fans of Cooking Fast and Fresh with Wes. We thought, would you consider making it a food chain with hospitals nearby or something like that?
A food show with hospitals nearby? So you can go get your stomach pumped after having the meal? Is that what you're implying? Are you implying that the food is not safe to eat? It's not safe to eat. There were a couple of times when we made things in that context where I was really disgusted by what was being put in my mouth. The Santa Monica winter salad, I believe it was called. I don't know, I think it was a can of gravy and peanut shells and lettuce. It was so disgusting. So yeah. It's a tricky thing because he's old enough now where he's starting to realize, like when someone picks up a camera, he'll go. And I don't know if cooking fast and fresh will work anymore if he's kind of noticing the camera or trying to be cute or something like that. So we'll see. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Hello.
You chose to call your followers minions years ago, and then Despicable Me was aired. Do you have any commission from its creators?
No, so she's asking, the show Despicable Me, they have minions, but that came out after I had minions, and she wants to know if I get some kind of royalties from them for that. And the truth is, they have not yet cut a check, but we are engaged in a protracted legal battle right now. I'm suing the minions themselves. This is copyright infringement. Oh, is this something that I'm supposed to be doing something? Oh. I don't know what to do with these things. Oh, it's golf. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, this is great. Warning, strange gift. Uh-oh. All right, I'm going to give some things out to people here.